So in Cleveland, you guys have a quarterback question, obviously the quarterback competition. You have Deshaun Watson, you have Shedeur Sanders. This is going to be a big storyline for all of us, and I imagine for all of you, this summer and into training camp. What have you seen from some of the quarterbacks, and how much have you sort of been paying attention to, like, all right, this rep is with this guy, this rep is with another guy?
Right, I'm not really paying attention to what reps are with who. I just go out there and just try to produce for whoever's throwing me the ball. I think Dylan, I think Shedeur, and I also think, Deshaun Watson have all put on a great.
The rookie wasn't supposed to say that. A second-round rookie, brand new to the NFL, still learning the playbook. And yet, Denzel Boston just walked onto national television and said something about Shedeur Sanders that the entire Browns organization is now thinking about. He didn't mean to start a firestorm. He was just being honest. But in Cleveland, right now, honesty is the most dangerous thing in the building. Because here's what nobody's talking about. When a rookie receiver goes on NFL Network and his energy completely shifts when one quarterback's name comes up, that's not nothing. That's everything. And that's exactly what happened.
Don't try to mimic someone that's not like you type of game. So just play your size, know your alignments and assignments, and just show up to work every day ready to make plays.
So in Cleveland, you guys have a quarterback question, obviously the quarterback competition. You have Deshaun Watson, you have Shedeur Sanders. This is going to be a big storyline for all of us, and I imagine for all of you, this summer and into training camp. What have you seen from some of the quarterbacks, and how much have you sort of been paying attention to, like, all right, this rep is with this guy, this rep is with another guy?
Right, I'm not really paying attention to what reps are with who. I just go out there and just try to produce for whoever's throwing me the ball. I think Dylan, I think Shedeur, and I also think.
The weight hanging over Cleveland. Let's be honest about where the Browns are right now. Deshaun Watson was supposed to be the guy. They gave him $230 million fully guaranteed, the most in NFL history at the time. They traded 3 first-round picks. They burned everything down for one man. And it fell apart in the most painful way possible. 2 seasons of injuries, surgeries, and questions. Rumors swirling about his future. A locker room that needed answers and never got them. So what does Cleveland do? They draft Shedeur Sanders in the 5th round. The same Shedeur Sanders who was projected top 5. The same Shedeur Sanders who put up video game numbers at Colorado. The same Shedeur Sanders who by almost every objective measure should have been gone before Cleveland even had a chance to see him on the board. And the moment he lands in Cleveland, the entire narrative shifts. This isn't just a quarterback competition anymore. This is a franchise deciding who it actually is.
And it allows you guys to just both go out there, have fun, make plays, and make plays off of each other. Whether that's, he goes and makes a big play, then I know, okay, I'm about to go make a big play now because, we're matching each other's energy all the time.
You are a big receiver. You're 6'4". So you're expected to be the contested catch guy. And you said you were given advice like play to your size. But what parts of your game are you trying to work on this summer?
Oh, yeah, working on just basically, I'm a rookie. I got a lot to work on, work on my releases, working on snapping down my hips, getting out my routes faster, always can work on the hands all the time, and I think also just working on, again, playbook, knowing that playbook at the back of my hand, just being able to play.
What Boston actually said and what he didn't. On The Insiders on NFL Network, Denzel Boston was asked a simple question about the quarterback competition. Simple question, routine answer expected. Instead, he said this: I think Dylan, I think Shedeur, and I also think Deshaun Watson have all put on a great showing so far in OTAs. Now read that again. He listed Shedeur Sanders before Deshaun Watson. A rookie receiver, 1 month into the NFL, went on national television and instinctively, naturally, put the undrafted 5th-round pick above the $230 million franchise quarterback. And here's what's even more revealing. When asked how splitting reps between quarterbacks affects him as a receiver, most players would say it's tough or hedge diplomatically. Boston said, it doesn't affect me too much. And then he described the differences between their ball placement, their spin, their touch. He's paying attention, more than he admitted. That's not a rookie who doesn't care about the quarterback competition. That's a rookie who already has a preference and was careful enough not to say it directly.
And I think also just working on, just being able to play every position, move around the field. I think that's one of the biggest things in this next level.
Looking forward to see it all on the field. Denzel Boston, part of a and what do you think of him as a sort of fellow rookie receiver?
Yeah, our relationship is now gone to a brother kind of thing. We only call each other brother.
What his body language was really telling us. Watch the interview again closely. When Denzel Boston talks about the city of Cleveland, he's relaxed, warm, loose, fan love, Cedar Point, roller coasters. He's having the time of his life. When he talks about Casey Concepcion, his eyes light up. He calls him his brother. He talks about matching energy, making plays off each other. But when the quarterback question comes up, something changes. His answer gets more deliberate, more careful. You can feel him choosing words. I just go out there and try to produce for whoever's throwing me the ball. That's not excitement. That's professionalism, and there's a difference. Here's the psychology at play. Rookies coming into competitive situations either attach themselves to a quarterback quickly or stay completely neutral. Boston is playing neutral, but the order in which he named those quarterbacks was not neutral. Shedeur, then Watson. In psychology, primacy matters. What you say first is what's on your mind first, and that's not an accident. Boston also said something that went almost completely unnoticed. When asked about adjusting to different ball spins and touches, different ball spins, different touches on the ball can be a difference maker. He said that unprompted, without being asked. That's a receiver who has already felt a difference, and it registered. What Cleveland is quietly telling you. Here's where things get really interesting. The Browns didn't have to draft Shedeur Sanders. They had Watson under contract. They had a plan, allegedly, but they took him anyway. And now in OTAs, from every report coming out of Berea, Sanders is getting meaningful reps. Real reps, not just token development throws. Head coach Kevin Stefanski and offensive coordinator Tommy Monken are watching, evaluating, every snap logged. And think about what Monken told Denzel Boston about the playbook. Complicated, full of motions and movements, a sophisticated system. That's not a system you build around a quarterback you're planning to bench, but it's also not a system you install without knowing who's going to run it. The front office made a move this offseason that most people treated as a curiosity, a late-round flyer, a name that would generate buzz. But what if they already knew? What if the fifth-round pick was intentional cover, a way to bring in a potential franchise quarterback without the pressure of a top-5 contract demand? The organization is sending signals. You just have to know where to look. The story nobody saw coming. Nobody expected Shedeur Sanders to be here. Nobody expected a fifth-round pick to walk into OTAs and make a $230 million quarterback feel the pressure. Nobody expected a rookie receiver, a few weeks into his NFL life, to go on national television and accidentally tell the whole world what he was seeing. But here we are. The quarterback competition in Cleveland is real. The reps are real. The energy is real. And somewhere in Berea, Ohio, on a practice field where everything is still undecided, a kid from Colorado is throwing passes that are making people think differently. Denzel Boston felt it. The organization felt it. And soon, the whole NFL might have to. That's the story nobody saw coming out of Cleveland this offseason. And it's only May.